Hello, and welcome to the Stride Report podcast. I am Ben Weissel, and joining me, as always, Garrett Allen. How's it going, man?
Ben, it's the best time of the year. It's USA's. It's more importantly TSR's rankings, summer rankings, and the weather's good. And how can you complain, man? So yeah, it's the best time of the year. And frankly, once football and cross country starts, I don't think it can get
Yeah.
better than that.
Yeah. I was talking to my brother-in-laws. It's like, yeah, this is a tough time in the sports calendar. There's still stuff going on. We obviously got
Yeah.
USA's, but we're getting pretty darn close to like the peak October, no, like September area where you got everything going on, NBA, NHL, NFL, for us cross country. Like it's about to turn really good very soon, which is exciting.
We were watching the preseason Hall of Fame game
Oh, brutal.
on
Don't do
last
that.
Thursday. And it was like it's still literally July. It was July 31st. And I'm like,
Yeah.
we're preseason football on July 31st? Felt very odd, felt very weird. What was not odd and what was not weird was getting 2 ratings and reviews, one on Apple, one on Spotify, up to 210 on Spotify, another one on Apple. Dude, we had a new review on Apple,
Yeah,
right?
I thought I threw that in there, but I guess it did not. But I have it right here. Subject line: always entertaining from future NCAA champ, which I
Love that.
love that name. Year-round NCAA updates. Love getting my info from these boys. So appreciate from the future NCAA champ. We look forward to talking about you on this podcast, whoever you are in the future.
And eventually getting them on the pod, inevitably. So,
There you go.
looking forward to that. Ben, as we are recording this, the USA Outdoor Track and Field Championships are taking place. In fact, they're, let's say, wrapping up today. Yeah, they
Yep.
are. We have our team covering that on social media, Suvir Grover on the photos. Literally, as we are having this conversation, the women's 800 just finished and the men's is about to go off. Let's just get a few quick reactions. And again, we'll get a live reaction to the men's race as that comes in. Let's talk about the women's 800 meters first, though. That just came in. Roisin Willis wins it. Maggie Congdon gets second. Sage Hertog-Klecker in third. Nia Akins narrowly
Yeah.
settles for fourth place down the stretch. Just first thoughts and reactions to that women's 8.
It was interesting the way that this was run. 60-second first lap. Would have expected that to be a little bit quicker from Nia Akins, who, and I think that's really what hurt her. If she pushes a little bit harder in that first 400, she probably ends up getting one of those top 3 spots. I didn't love how she ran that race. For Willis, again, the revival is in full swing. She looks great. She's having the year that Juliet Whitaker had last year,
Yes.
which I mean,
Yes.
great for her. Like, really happy to see her bounce back, and really hope we see another bounce back year from Whitaker in 2026. But really happy for them. And then Cogden's always been a favorite of mine, so I'm pretty thrilled with this top 3, honestly. And I think it's a strong top 3 to send to the World Championships. I think they're going to be very competitive in the World Championships.
Is this our best top 3?
Well, I mean, you have the Athing Mo thing sitting out there, and it's hard to say right now.
Right now, she's not.
Yeah,
But
exactly, and I think you would probably argue that Akins definitely deserves to is part of that top 3 in my mind. So I don't know who you replace her with, but I think we're sending like 3 out of the top 4 probably at
I
this
think
point.
we're sending one out. I think Willis at this point is more than deserving. Wiley stumbling on that backstretch. I thought Akins,
Fair.
if she ran it smarter, she gets in. I don't know if this is our strongest team. I think it's a competent team. Like I can see all 3 of these women getting out of the prelims. I'm so happy
Yeah.
for Hertha Klecker. I think she's so deserving. She's been like just barely missing it, having tough draws a handful of times. So I am very much rooting for her. Real
So
quick,
you would have
based
had
on what
Addie. You would have had Addie Wiley in that in the next, like, as part of that top 3 with Akins.
yeah. I think Wiley's just a more complete runner.
Yeah, that's fair.
And while we're waiting for this men's
Oh, we
800
just
to
got through
finish,
700s on the live splits, so we are getting right down to it.
okay, well, cool. Then let's quickly transition to the women's 1500 because I think that's probably the least eventful, I would argue.
Oh my gosh.
Or do you just want to
No,
react as
we
this
gotta go to the
moment?
800.
Okay.
Holy smokes. When I saw 49 pop up on the 400, I knew this was gonna be fast, but goodness, Donovan Brazier is back, 142.16.
Oh my God. Am I reading this right?
Cooper
No
Lutkenhaus?
way.
Who is that?
No. He's the high schooler. He's 16 years old.
And he 142.27?
Oh my God.
Oh, I feel bad for Josh Hoey. He's been having the year of his life and he runs 143.06 and he's not going to make the team.
Oh my God. Are you kidding me? That is unreal.
So Lukenhaus, his PB before this was 145.45. Oh man.
Oh my God. That's unbelievable. I can't believe that. I legitimately can't believe that. Josh Hobe ran 143.06, and he's not going
And
to
he
get in.
wasn't really close. Like he was a half second behind third.
Unbelievable. Ninth place got was Colin Solomon at 145.99.
Oh my gosh. Oh my
Hoppel,
gosh.
so Brazier, looking. I have no idea how to say his name. Lutkenhaus and Hoppel. Those are the three. I thought Brazier's. I didn't think Brazier was going to be ready for 3 rounds at this level.
No.
I was wrong. The story of this entire meet will be Lutkenhaus.
Yeah.
That's unreal. That might be one of the single greatest performances I have ever seen.
That I know we say this a
I'm
lot, but
watching
like
this here and it like on the replay, and my like the kick he puts in that final 100. No 16-year-old should be able to do that.
wait, he's 16?
He's 16, Ben. He's going into his junior year of high school.
I thought he was like 18 going into college.
No,
Oh
he's not.
no.
He's not even an upperclassman in high school yet.
Oh no. Oh man.
That kick was crazy good. He can't even believe it.
That's
Wow,
ridiculous.
that is ridiculous.
Oh
That's
man.
crazy. Oh my God.
Like think about I was going to say this is a U20 record that's never going to get broken or going to be not broken for a million years. It's a U18 record that's never going to get broken. Like
That's.
that's insane.
I wonder if that's a U20 record.
It's
World
got to be,
U20
right?
world record. What is the U20 world record? Let's take a look while everyone can. U20 800-meter
I mean, shout out to Brandon Miller too. 143.14. Gonna get lost in the shuffle
yeah,
in fifth
that's right.
place.
Nigel Lamos of Botswana in 2012 ran 141.73 at 19 years old. I want to
Oh
say that
man,
was that 19? Was he 19? I can't tell. It doesn't say. Um,
that's
yeah,
crazy.
I didn't think that was gonna be, but that's got to be the under 18, right?
Oh, 100%.
Right? Someone say yes. Yeah, it was. He smashed it. It was 143.37 by Muhammad Aman back in 2011. So
That's an American high school record that's not going to be
it will
touched
never. That will
for
never be touched.
20
No,
years.
I don't
That's
know if we'll be
ridiculous.
alive for that to be broken. Or
Yeah.
let's a new. All right, new take. Are we going to be alive? I turned 30 this year, or as I like to call it, my second 29th birthday. Because you'll be what, 28 this year?
I am 28. I'll be
You are
29
That's
in
okay.
2026. Yeah.
Are we going to be alive for when an American breaks Cooper Lutenkaus's 800-meter record,
I
or like
got to think
his high
so.
school record?
That's like 50 years, hopefully, for both of us. Like, I got to imagine. And yeah, they just updated it on the live results with U18 world record. Oh, man. I think so. 50 years. Like we've said that so many times in the last like 3 years alone that we would have never imagined seeing results like this. Now I don't. This probably tops the all of them that we've said that about. But at some point, we're gonna see a freak of nature like him come through in the next 50 years.
Oh my God, that's just absolutely insane. Brazier, Lutenkaus, and Hoppel. How many of those guys get through the prelims at Worlds?
Probably two.
Who doesn't get in?
I'm nervous about Lutkenhaus. Like, I have no concerns about Hoppel. Hoppel's like the almost the one I'm least concerned about. And then
Okay, then do Brazier and Hoppel make the final?
I think so. I think
Both of
so.
them.
Yeah, yeah.
That's pretty wild,
And
man.
I
Wow.
mean, they should both challenge for the win. Like, there's no reason for them not to. Like, they're running that well.
Yeah, I'm gonna just make sure that Lauren understands.
The significance of.
Yeah, as we're posting this, your team world record, FYI. Okay. Um.
Oh my gosh. Oh my
All right.
gosh.
Yeah, I can't. I don't really know if I've ever seen anything like that.
I
That's
mean,
so absurd.
the next youngest person in this is 5 years older, and that's Solomon.
That's just insane. It's insane. Okay. All right. We're quick reactions. I'm gonna list off the three the I'm gonna list off each event.
Sure.
You're gonna talk to me about again what's happened so far. So we still have the 5,000 meters to go. Let's quickly talk about the 1500s. Women's 1500, not crazy, actually very chalk. Nikki Hiltz,
Yeah.
Sinclair Johnson, Emily McKay, or Mackay, however you say it. Top three, Hiltz wins. Instant reactions. Cool.
Nothing really. This,
Cool.
yeah, good
I
run by
agree.
all involved.
Uh, Crazier race though. Men's 1500.
Yeah.
Jonah Kowick won. Ethan Strand two. Cole Hawker three. Each running 3:30. Hobbs Kessler four. Yard Goose five. Those guys will not advance to Worlds, but the top three will. First thoughts.
We were talking about this before we got started. Just not sure what Jared Nagus is doing against a field that very much like everybody can run at least low 330s. Why are you pushing the pace like this? You have a great kick. It's not as if he doesn't have a great kick. Like, it's not like he's one of those guys who can only front run. He's not like Ingebrigtsen, right? He can sit on Ingebrigtsen and kick past him, right? I don't understand the strategy here. The Jonah Koek, like, this came out of, I am very surprised. You think about him beating the Olympic gold medalist, uh, in Cole Hawker. Cole Hawker barely making it to World Championships
Yeah,
the
barely.
year after winning the gold medal is pretty surprising. I mean, Koek has had a great season, 331, 143 so far, but I just don't think many people had him on this team. And you could probably say the same about Strand, right? I mean, I think the favorites were certainly Hawker, Nagus, and Kessler, and for only one of the three out of those three to make it, and that person finished third, is stunning. For Strand, this is the culmination of a fantastic season, and I think it's well deserved considering the highs that he's hit throughout 2025.
Men's steeplechase, Kenneth Rooks wins it 826. Kind of a
Yeah.
tactical race here.
Mhm.
Michalski of Air Force, second, former Indiana runner. Bernard Keeter, Nike US Army, he is third. But Michalski, Keeter don't have the standard,
Yeah.
which means I think unless they get it before the cutoff, is that Wilkinson and Updike go in, or is it just
I think Wilkinson and Updike would go in, so they're going to have to chase the standard, and I don't know how much time they have to do
I
that.
mean, I know it's not a lot, and with respect to Michalski and Keeter, they ran great. I just don't think the standards 8:15. Neither of them have ever in their careers run faster than 8:15, 8:17. So,
Yeah.
um, yeah, I just don't see that happening. But women's steeplechase, you want to talk about like collegians stepping up? Alexi
Mm,
Halliday Lowry,
yeah.
909. She's now with Nike. Angelina Napoleon, NC State. She gets second, 910. And Kaylee Mitchell of Nike Swoosh Track Club. She is getting third in 911. I want it a little surprising, yes,
Yes, very
because
surprising,
like
I think.
Markovic didn't make it. Wayman was down
Wayman,
in six. Jennings fell to ninth. It was a lot of the youngsters came in. Like Mitchell getting in was a surprise. Gear getting fourth, I think, is probably like the one where you're like, I would probably trust her more on the world stage than anyone
sure.
else.
Yep.
But yeah, a little surprising there.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I'm so happy for Halliday Lowry. Like we talked about how she never got an NCAA title. For her to get
Yeah.
a US championships title, I think is sweet. I think that's very cool. And I mean it's amazing. You look at these top three women, like it's not as if they are again won national championships, and yet they're going to be the top three representing the U.S. in the steeplechase. And I mean Mitchell, I think this comes out of nowhere a little bit. I mean, she's run well this year, 908, but for her to again beat the women that we just talked about, this felt like one of these three women could have made it, and for all three of them to is one of the bigger stunners of this meet, honestly.
I agree. I agree. Moving off, we'll go to the men's and women's 10K. Men's 10K, Nico Young, Grant Fisher, Grant Blanks, 1, 2, 3, all headed to Worlds. Tactical race,
Yep.
low 29s, but like I don't know if this really tells us anything new.
I think it's good to see Young be able to beat both of those guys in this kind of race. You would have assumed
Yep.
that this would have favored Fisher significantly, and for him to beat Fisher in this scenario, I think is pretty surprising, honestly, and even blanks. So I think really good sign for Young. I mean, he's run exceptionally well this year, 12:45 in the 5K. 739 3K 350 in the mile. Like he's running really well this year. The fitness is clearly there, and if he can compete in this kind of scenario, I think that's all you're looking for, and that is probably the most exciting sign going to Worlds for Nico Young.
Agreed. And then finally, women's 10K. Let's see here. I just had it. I still can't get over that 800. Women's
Yeah,
10K, Emily Enfeld wins it 31:43, Elise Cranny, and then Taylor Rowe. I think
yeah.
Taylor Rowe is actually, I think that's a deserving spot. She's been so good at the pro level.
Hmm.
She's been really good. So, but
None of
do
these
they
women
not have
have the standard.
world? No, none of the women have a world standard.
Yeah, I don't know how that works. Then do we send like one person then?
I don't know if you send any. Do you send anyone?
I
I
gotta
don't know.
imagine the
I
U.S.
don't
at
know.
least is given
I
one spot.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm not. I don't follow the pro scene, world scene enough to know what the exact qualification is.
It is
When we
crazy
move
that
on.
you have like Winnie Colati and Carissa Schweitzer between neither of them having the standard is a little surprising.
Yeah, that. Yeah, I don't know. I never understood the women's 10K. In the like because we had the same conversation for the Olympics
Yeah.
when USA's happened last year. Okay, 5,000s are happening. We'll update up that as that comes in. Ben, oh my gosh, Cooper Lutkenhaus ran 142.
Ugh. We're gonna talk about our rankings. One of the questions is like who's the most valuable like future. Who's the person that you want for the future the most, and might just be Lukenhaus already
Yeah,
on the
I
men's
don't.
side.
I don't care if he can get last. It doesn't matter. I think he's going to go pro at this point.
Yeah, exactly.
You have
No,
to. I mean, there's
sadly,
no
we're never
way.
going to actually watch him in the NCAA, but
No, there's no way. Like yeah, it's like yeah, but he can get a lot of NIL money. A brand is going to come in and
yeah.
get him. They're going to pay him $250,000 or so, at least, probably more, closer to maybe actually 400, 500 if I had
Yeah,
to
I was about to
think.
say it's going to be way more than the Drew Hunter deal from 10 years ago.
Yeah, which was on average, I think, is probably going to be less than whatever this guy gets. I mean, whatever. I mean, that's crazy. All right. Anyways, moving on. Rankings, top 30 released since we last spoke. And so you can go check that all out on the site along with our just missed and honorable mention names. We got a handful of questions here. And Ben, let's start here. In our entirety of the rankings, there are
Mhm.
different tiers, right? Not just broken into 10, but different tiers. The elite tier, the prestigious tier, the top tier, the tier that is, I think we can argue, maybe the national title contenders tier.
Yep.
Who, or how, I should more specifically say, how many men and how many women are in that tier? And maybe if we differ enough, we can specify who here.
Yeah, this one is tough. On the women's side, it's easy, I think. On the men's side, it's a little more difficult. I think you can make an argument for four, maybe five men. But It really feels like it's down in my mind, it's, like, down to 2, where it's like, if those top 2 don't win it, I would be pretty stunned, and for me yeah, I mean, let's
Yeah, go
do you
ahead. No,
think
go
it's
ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
so for
Let's say
me,
it's
it's Haftam Samuel and Brian Masau.
yeah.
If anybody else wins besides those 2 guys, I will be pretty surprised. Not stunned, but those 2 guys seem head and shoulders above the rest of this field going into the season based off of what they've done over the track season and based off of last cross country season. I just I would be surprised if I think Samuel probably has a slight edge, but Masao just seems to always get it. And Masao seems to always get Samuel at least on the track. So maybe he'll do it on the grass, but it seems like Samuel is kind of the lose, and then if anybody else is going to win, it's Masao.
And then on the women's side, pretty easy here.
Yeah.
Lemongal, Kosgei. I don't think we're quite. Hilda Olamomwe, Florida, has not been
No, you
at her
can't.
best recently. I don't think you can put her in there. Grace Hartman's really good. She's just not at the same level as Kosgei or Lemongol. Not yet, at least. Maybe eventually, but not yet. Um, so pretty straightforward there. The next tier, you can even say who's in that tier for the. I'll actually go on the women's side.
Yeah.
Women's side, I think it's Hartman, Olamomwe, Jane Hendegren of BYU, and probably Peyton Noe and Amy Bunnage.
Yeah, so I would actually go uh, all those same women, but not Noe. And the only reason I think
Really?
I would go Bunnage a
You like
little bit
Noe
up.
more than me, though.
Do I like Noe more than you?
I thought you did.
I so I do like Noe, but I think if we're talking about hey, that second tier, who are the next group of people that can realistically like challenge maybe for a like a top 2 finish? I think I actually have more faith in Amy Bunnage than I do in Noe, just because her highs are like crazy high. Now you don't necessarily know if you're going to get a good result or a long racing schedule out of Bunnage, but whenever she's hitting stride, I mean, she was fourth last NCAA's. I think her ceiling is a lot higher than Noe. And I would say the same thing about Hendegren over Noe, same thing about Olamamwe and Hartman. I think they're all like a significantly they're a tier above in terms of their ceiling than Noe.
Man, do you think Noe's ceiling isn't on the same tier?
I don't
Really? That's interesting.
know.
Men's side, who's in that tier for you? Who's in the next tier?
So I think yeah, you got to put Kim Nagedich, Kipchoge, Hansen, and I think that's it.
I think that's
I
it.
I think there's a pretty firm breaking point after 5.
Um, which one are not in our top 10? Let's move off of that. You know what? Actually, let me rephrase that. Of that three we just mentioned, Hansen,
Yeah.
Kipchoge, and Kipniganich, which one of those is the more likely to come away with a national title?
So I think it's actually the person who isn't ranked the highest out of this group, and I think it's Hansen. I think if Hansen puts it all together from the beginning to the end, he's a junior at this point. He has more experience. I actually like his chances of taking down that top 2 a little bit more than Kip Niganich and Kipchoge. I think they are deservingly ranked above Hansen because they have been more complete and more consistent. But if we're talking about someone who can actually go and challenge for a national title, I think it's Hansen out of this group.
I think it's Kipchoge. I think the talent is so raw and just the upside is almost maybe not quite, but on the grass maybe almost
Mm-hmm.
as good as Hapton Samuel. I'm now just I mean I think like if you're just talking about like the what could be situations, I mean Kipchoge is the one where I'm like I just feel like I know
Yeah.
that he can run with some of these guys, and I think the talent's just too much. It's too superior. So I would take Kipchoge there. But of all the men and of all the women, give me one man, one woman who are not ranked in our top 10. So 11 to 30. Again, we've already kind of talked about the back end of these rankings. But from 11 to 30, who are you taking as the most likely to crack the top 10? of our rankings?
So I was looking more like the back half of like so 15 to 30. So on the women's side, I had Jenna Hutchins. I think
Mm,
you say, hey, she puts it all together. She's shown signs of top 10 ability, right? Hey, if she actually puts it all together and she has a great race at NCAA's, I don't think either of us are sitting there being that shocked if she ends up in the top 10, right? I think we feel like the talent is certainly there. It just has to come together on the day at NCAA's. I mean, fifth at pre-nats, again, that kind of tells you that hey, this is someone that can. Her times on the track tells you this is someone that potentially could do that. I think top 10 is certainly in her wheelhouse this year.
okay. I don't disagree, but I don't necessarily agree either. Which is I know. I know how that sounds. This is a little bit of a cop because of like where she exactly she's ranked, but staying within the 15 to 30 range, not quite the 11 to 30, but the 15 to 30 range is Brenda Two-Way of Alabama.
Mm, yeah.
I think her regular season last fall was so underrated. Like I don't think people realize quite like just how good she was. Like yeah, she was great on the track, right? Like 15:33 5K, 32:41 10K. I'm sorry, that was a different name. Excuse me. Um, she ran 15:34 5K, 32:20 10K. And yes, she was 29th on national stage, but she was also fourth at SECs. And
Hmm.
she's taken down some incredible runners. Like she was third at Loyola Lakefront Invite. She's taken down Grace Hartman, Hannah Gapes, Ali Weimer, Brenda Tchircher, Sylvia Jalego, and Gladys Chepngetich prior to the national meet. I think that's the resume of a borderline top 10 runner at times if she's better on the national stage. So
Yeah.
I would take Two-Way of Alabama.
On the men's side, I'm going someone from the almost the very back of this range. And I'm not going based off of a lot that we've seen on the collegiate level, but this is hey, he's taking a big step forward this year and he has the prestige in high school. He has the potential, and I'm going with Lex Young.
Nope. Nope.
I
Not
just
doing
don't
this.
think it would be. I think I'm looking at the rest of the list. I don't really see top 10 for a lot of these guys' potential.
Well, I think the potential I do. Like, I mean, you want to pretty much anyone in an Iowa State singlet, I could say, be top 10.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I don't know. I was looking at Masando and thinking about him, but
I like,
I
and that's my pick. It's Masando.
yeah.
I've turned the corner on Masando. I've gone from being like he's my least favorite runner to now being like this guy could be a top 10 runner. He could. I think his potential, the consistency still has to get a little bit
Yeah.
better and a little bit tighter, but it's way better than it was a year and a half
Yeah,
ago.
yeah, yeah.
He peaks at the national meet every time. The 10K is a clear strength for him.
Mhm.
He's only going to get better. I mean, he's only better now, right? Because now he gets the extra year of eligibility from the JUCO extension, which is why
Yep.
he's coming back. Um, I like Masando, man. I like Masando. I think he's got the upside, the talent. He's proven it before. That's kind of the other thing, right? Like I
Yeah.
still think he has upside, and he's proven it twice.
Yeah. That's
So
I guess if you still feel like there's more meat on that bone, then I think he's a pretty easy selection, right? If he's kind of who he is at this point, he's certainly a top 20 runner still, but maybe not someone that has a huge potential to go into the top 10.
well, and it's also like the front of the top of the NCAA, the top 10, right? You know, it's very well the top 15 or however many spots you want to talk about, right? It's highly congested with guys who are very similar runners to who he is, right?
Yeah.
In theory, the races that he'll be in are going to somewhat mimic his skill set, which is aggressive. I don't want to say front runner. I mean, he can be a front runner, right? But
Yeah.
it's aerobic centric front running, gritty, kind of hard from the gun. It's not really
Yep.
like a tactical situation. So I would say Masando. Masando's my answer.
Yeah, and I think that's also why I like Young is like that 10K result. I think again there
But he
he
hasn't
still
replicated it
no,
at all.
I know, and that's why it's like, hey, you're banking on just the there's so much more room to grow for him, And if he continues to head down that trajectory, then I think he's someone that can actually hang with that top 10 who are all push from the gun. It's not going to be slow. Like you're going to need that full aerobic 10K kind of talent to be able to hang.
I mean, I'll give you this. I think I would have said 30 minutes ago that it's more likely that Young cracks the top 10 than Lutkenhaus runs 142. I've absolutely said that. So
That's not a compliment because there's you would have said anything would have been more likely than Lutkenhaus running 142.
to some extent, it still is a compliment. How strong of a compliment you want to say, I don't know. It's just um, okay. Let's move on to the next one. Who did we really? Who was like, you know what? Really loved how we ranked this name.
um, did you have someone for this? I don't think I did, off the top of my head.
On the men's side, I think it's very tricky to rank Colton Sands given everything
Mm,
that has happened with him. And yet, I think we did a very nice job of rewarding him for what he did on the track 7:39 3K, 13:27 5K, I want to say. Strong national caliber standout, good on the grass, maybe even great on the grass, but not all American good on the grass. And you try to balance the two aspects, right? And you try to find the middle ground. And I think, given who left, the international names who return, some of the track success others had, I thought we did a nice job with like where he ended up. I thought it was generally appropriate, and but also not like hyper high on him just because of how great he was running in circles.
I'll go with yeah, and I agree. I especially in this year's rankings, I don't think pushing him up more is a bad idea because he's shown a lot more in the last calendar year than a lot of the other guys on this list. I'm going to go with Fawad Masaudi at 14. Impossible to guy to rank because he usually doesn't do much during the regular season and then just pops off at NCAA's. I like where we have him. It rewards the upside while also understanding that he doesn't do this consistently enough to put him in the top 10 necessarily. So I think we threaded the needle pretty well where we landed
He
with
is
him.
largely in the same place of where we've put him historically in the preseason.
Exactly, and that's why I like it. I think that's exactly where he should be. Like I don't think there's any reason to
Back
move it.
home, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a very comfortable spot. By the way, my buddy who does not follow track, my phone's been blowing up since that 800.
Oh,
By
I'm
the way,
sure it is.
yeah, my phone's just completely exploded. But my one buddy who doesn't follow anything track at all just sent me a Steve Magnus tweet, and I was like, "Yeah, man, welcome to the sport. Pretty great, huh?" All right, moving off of that, women's side. Who did you like the most?
I'm gonna go with Joy Nocut of West Virginia. I think
Mm.
where we put her, I think is again, she was she kind of came on towards the back half of the year and was just spectacular for West Virginia as they exceeded expectations across the board and then was very good on the track. I think she's uh, like in a less deep of a year. I think she's probably 5 spots higher than she is this year. But you look at who's all around her, and I feel pretty confident that she's right where she should be. I would maybe say you could argue maybe 1 spot higher, but I think she landed in a really good spot due to all her accomplishments, but also like not getting too ahead of ourselves and putting her against women that have been doing this for a lot longer or maybe had higher upside in their performances throughout the year.
I like Knockout. I think she's a little bit underrated, especially after that 10K this past spring. Really consistent in the fall. Like she doesn't really have bad races,
No.
which is not which is pretty unusual for international
Yeah.
names. Like usually they find a way to stumble, but she's been like great as a freshman last year too. So she was really really good. I like that pick. I do like that pick. Um, even my dad. Did they already run the 800? Yes, they did. Uh,
Yeah, you blinked and you missed it.
yep. For the women's side, I will go Allie Weimer. Allie Weimer,
Okay.
very
Yeah.
good. Allie, good, very good last fall, and had a breakout season and was just consistently great. Showed up on multiple different stages, very unique stages, a variety of different competition, and held her own consistently. 46 at the national meet. And if that's like the clear cut, quote unquote, worst race of her season, then that's a very good problem to have. At the
Mhm.
same time, you can't give her quite the super high ranking
Yep.
that you want to give her for all of her regular season success because she wasn't even within 5 spots of being an All American. But liked where we put her, thought it was appropriate, and I think it gives her some upside to climb while recognizing what she did last year. So yeah, I like Allie Weimer just in general. I think she's very underrated, even if last year's national meet doesn't suggest that.
Absolutely. All right, let's move on to our next question, which is impossible to rank person. Who was someone that we really struggled with? And on the men's side, for me, one of those guys is Zuhair Rudain of Tennessee. Not
I
only
didn't have an
moving
issue here.
what?
I didn't have an issue with this one.
Really? Okay. It's not that I necessarily have an issue where we landed, but all right. You're moving colleges. You didn't do anything since fall of 2024. Like, and we all we have is your freshman campaign, which was great, but we have such a small sample size. I I struggled with this, and again, I think in a deeper year, he's probably a lot further back. But just the upside that we saw during the fall season was so tantalizing, and you compare that to everybody else around him, you're like, well, he has to be ranked high because no one else has really approached those highs. So that's why I think it was a little bit more difficult to place him. Ultimately, I think we landed in a fine spot, but I think there's probably pretty compelling arguments for 5 spots higher and 10 spots lower.
Um, I don't. I know. I think the
I
cross
think
country
there
season was
is.
just good. Yeah, I mean, like, listen, was he great on the track? No, he was actually pretty underwhelming. I will
Exactly.
say this. So here's what happened. So he was at CBU, right?
Yep.
And then transferred to Tennessee for like 5 seconds before he then flipped his commitment and went to Texas Tech. At Texas Tech, trained with them and ran on the track, indoor and outdoor. Did he also race outdoor? And outdoor, yep,
Uh,
and
yep.
outdoor. Only raced like 5 times, at 5 meets last winter and spring. I've since been told that he has transferred again. And I was like, and someone's like, hey, he's at Tennessee now. I go, oh no, see, easy mix up. He was at Tennessee and then flipped. They're like, no, 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 no. He got in again and now is at Tennessee. Here, like here's a screenshot to prove it. And I was like, oh, okay. I'm surprised no one's told us that. So yeah, he's at Tennessee now for whatever reason. But I
Which
didn't have an
again,
issue.
I feel like has to be incorporated in at your difficulty to rank somebody.
Why?
Like when they're
What
going back
he
and
was?
forth to
He
all these
was
different schools.
why he
It's
was at
weird.
a different place. He was last CBU was a new place from the original for the year before that. Tennessee's at a new place. Just it's the same thing. It's just he's just at a different spot. So
Yeah,
I
I
don't
know.
really have an issue with it. His fall season was complete. He ran very well at the cross country national meet. It was roughly in line with how his season went. He ran very well at different meets, big meets. I have zero issue at all actually. So I am going to go with Rogers Kiplimo,
Hmm.
guy who stunned in the fall of 2023, 37th place All American after a pretty underwhelming season in general. Fall 2024, just not good. Didn't really do anything. Didn't even race at the national meet. Quiet throughout, and then on the outdoor track, puts together a complete outdoor track season, 2750s in the 10K, fourth in the 10K at the NCAA Outdoor Championships. And now I don't know what to think of him. I think he's like, I just don't know how you reward someone who's like just so inconsistent, but then has like one really good season, but it's not in the season that you're ranking for. And
Yeah.
it's a really challenging thing where I just kind of looked at his ranking for like a solid 10 minutes and I was like, I have no idea.
I felt like that with a lot of the Iowa State guys. I'm
Yeah,
just
that's
like,
true.
I mean, honestly, besides Quem Ibera, who I was like, yes, okay, that feels right. All the other ones, I was just like, I don't know, don't love this, but guess this is right.
Yeah, there was I don't know. Like, I think even the Iowa State guys were tricky, right? But it was also an eye opener of like,
Yeah, it's
ooh,
not good.
I was like, well, not even like not good, but like if this team is even if all these guys are like 10 spots back from where we think they're going to
Yeah,
be,
fair.
this is still a really dangerous team, like
Yep.
frighteningly good team to the point where I'm like, oh no, like I don't know if anyone can match them through four.
Mhm.
So we'll see.
We'll definitely, that'll be a longer discussion that we're gonna have when the team rankings come out, because yeah, I think it's a compelling, they have a compelling argument as the number one team in the country.
I yeah. The problem is it's just like, do you trust them?
Yeah.
I don't know. As of late, they've given us more and more reasons, but we'll see how that goes. In terms of, did we already do the women? No, we haven't done the
No,
women
on the
yet.
women's side, we've already talked about her, I think, in the same category, but she also just finished second at USA's in the steeplechase. Like, eh, she's
Yeah,
been on a roll, Angelina Napoleon, and also, all right, she's going to be at World Championships, which we haven't. When people go on these longer, extended track seasons, and then they're slowly getting into cross country the next fall, it's a little bit hit or miss on what you get from them when you actually do roll around to NCAA's. I'm not going to belabor this point because we have talked about her before, but again, I think you could have done a random number generator for Angelina Napoleon's rankings, and I think you probably could have had a pretty easy argument for wherever she landed.
I think you're 100% right. I like that we initially corrected where she was beforehand. Um, I like that we did that, but still, I mean, there's just no good way to know. Like, I know she's run 9-10 twice. She's going to Worlds, but like also 9-10's a little different from what it used to be.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I don't know. It's still, I mean, I think she's about right, but yeah, we had to move her around a little bit, and that was not fun to do. Can I just, can I just kind of, can I just kind of cheat and just say the Clemson women in general?
Yeah, that's fair.
Never really like crazy talented, tons of natural upside. Never really know what I'm getting. That's Judy Kosky, Sylvia Jalego. Isn't there a third one? Oh, Chetna Gedich. I guess she was in the
Yeah,
back half of the rankings though.
yeah,
I just don't understand. I just don't really know. Crazy talent, crazy good talent. National meets have not been kind to them. Any championship really,
yeah.
maybe other than like conference meets, but like you just don't know. No idea.
But on their best day, they're right up
Crazy
there with
good,
anybody, and
crazy good.
that's why we can't quit them. Like it can't you can't say that we're gonna rank them lower, because that would feel kind of silly when they're beating a lot of these women that are ahead of them.
But
And
not only that, but it's like you want to go to like what their schedule was last year. They were at the Louisville Classic, right? Which is like a good meet, but like it's such a top heavy meet, right? Like
yeah,
it's not like there was exactly like a ton of deep competition. It was like what, Kaylee McCabe, and then I'm trying to figure out like who else was that. There was like another like top team there. Here, let me pull it up. Louisville Classic in the women's gold race. Yeah, it was West. Yeah, it was Joy Knockout. Yeah.
5K results just went final. Do you have
Uh,
a prediction before you
I already looked at it. That's
uh
about right ish
yeah,
for something that tactical for those
yeah.
listening. All right, it's Cole Hawker 1, Grant Fisher 2, Nico Young 3. The best team, I think.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. I kind of feel bad for Drew Hunter. He's just like right on him knocking on edge.
I
He
mean,
didn't have the
yeah,
standard, but fourth place,
and he does
right
this
there.
though. Like
I know.
I mean, I'll tell you, like he's a gamer.
He shows up at USA's.
He
Yeah,
does show up. He does show up, and he's a dad.
he
Like
is.
all
And
very impressive.
my son's godmother is related to him.
Oh,
So
really?
yeah,
Wow,
yeah, yeah. But,
so your son's
yeah,
going to be
exactly. It's like
really talented then, right?
yeah, so many, a lot of degrees between me and him, to the point that I have not met him, but I know someone who's very close with him. So
Then with through ancestry.com, he's like, how can I ensure that my son will be the next prodigy of the sport.
It's like, this is the closest I could get. Sorry, kid. Um,
That's great. I mean, do we have any
yeah.
more thoughts on that? The USA's?
No. I mean, it's gonna be interesting to see if Hawker decides to do both, 5K and 15 at Worlds. Um, do you think he will?
No.
Yeah,
No, I
I
think that
feel.
I think he's already riding the line too much, and I'm sure he probably still has more of a peak. But why jeopardize that peak if you're going to try to double in it?
Yeah,
I
that's
think
kind
he
of what I'm
wants the
thinking.
option, but I also don't think the 5K is ever going to be that tactical at Worlds. Not to that level, at least.
Yeah.
Maybe at
So
like
I
a
mean,
13:10 race, but not
right
13:26.
to that point, I guess Hunter could, in theory, chase a standard if he
Because
can.
what is the standard? 13:05.
Is it? Yeah, that sounds right.
I have no idea.
Is
Let
it
me
even
see.
under 13?
I don't remember what it's 13. Oh God, it's 13:01.
Okay, that's not that.
You
Yeah.
can get it through roads, by the way.
Oh, really? That's funny. Yeah, that's gonna take a big effort from Hunter if he's gonna be
Yeah,
able to do
I
that.
I
So
mean, could he get
it'll
close?
probably be
Yeah,
Cooper Tier, who was fifth then, that make it
yeah.
if Hawker doesn't.
Interesting. Okay. Going back to the rankings here. All right, we're going off of that. Who has the most future value? For the women's side, I'm going to say anyone but Jane Hendegren from BYU because she has the
I
most future value.
Yeah, I was gonna say yeah. You can't. There's no other answer, right? It has to be her.
Right. So I'm saying
Uh,
anyone else other than that.
Probably Kozgi, right?
Oh gosh, she's only a sophomore. Yeah. Um. Yeah, I guess. I guess that's true.
It's the boring answer, but probably
Yeah.
the only other one.
Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna move us off of that one. Men's side. I just nothing more we can possibly say. Who has the most future value? Which is this one is a little tougher, I think.
Lutkenhaus.
It is no cross, and he's still more valuable.
Yeah, this one is tough. I mean, because you have a lot of like upperclassmen, but they're only juniors at the top here. I mean, is it someone we just saw transfer in Solomon Kipchoge? I mean, going into
I
sophomore,
just don't think I don't know if we've seen enough from him yet.
so who would you say?
Probably Evans Karui.
Oh, I think you have to go Kipchoge over Karui.
But what have we seen from like I I think there's no one with more natural talent and upside than him.
Right,
I
like
don't,
to use the paradigm that we used a while back of like, hey, you're a coach and you can call up who this is your number one target.
I don't know. I mean, if I'm a coach, I don't love that he already left after his freshman year and can't race on the
Yeah,
track.
yeah. That's fair. That's
And
fair.
he
There's an
DNF'd at
intangible.
nationals. Like, I don't like how like if you go back and check the splits, how far did he get into nationals?
Oh, I don't know.
Because I don't think it was far.
Did he even start?
Here's the thing. I think I
I
think
thought
he
he
was.
didn't start.
I've heard that there was a dispute about, and that's why he maybe did not complete his race
What is the dispute?
about NIL.
Wait a second. So if he's having a dispute during NIL, is he having the dispute mid race, or did he just change his mind
No,
about something
no,
mid
no, no, no,
race?
no, no. That from what I've been told is that there was a dispute about his NIL, and this is all happening lead up, and there's I guess some a kind of I don't know. I don't know enough of the details,
Yeah.
and
That's a
so
wild thing if you like have this dispute and you're like, all right, well, instead of like resolving it, I'm going to toe the line and then not
well, what I mean,
do anything.
I don't want to say that they did or didn't try to resolve it. I don't know what it is, but
Right. But that, I mean, yeah, it hadn't come
I
to,
mean,
or
it's
I
it's
shouldn't
like
say they didn't try, they hadn't
I
come
mean,
to a
it's
full
it's
resolution.
nothing like I mean, it's very much like the same thing of when that Fresno State quarterback
Yeah,
sat
yeah,
out
yeah.
games. It's pretty much the exact same thing.
Yeah. Interesting. Interesting. Well, that makes sense that he's at Washington State and not Texas Tech anymore.
So, all right. Moving off of that, and we'll wrap it up. This is already a longer podcast than I thought it'd be. I think that's what happens when Lutkenhaus runs 142. Personal favorite.
um,
I already know who. I already got yours.
on the men or women's side.
Men's side.
Um, really?
Yeah.
I mean, probably Hanson, right?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love
Yeah.
Rocky Hanson. Yeah, yeah. That's is that the same for you or someone else?
It is the same, but I want to go someone else. I mean, I guess George Cootie, Virginia Tech.
Yeah, there you go.
I also just like his skill set. I think it's really cool. I don't think you usually see that, but um, I don't really know how much of these guys like I really like.
I know. That's why I was looking at this list. Like, I don't know. And I was like, all right,
I will
yeah.
say this: Sam Lawler, when after like seeing his resume and really diving into it and analyzing and editing that article, liked him way more than I thought I would.
Yeah,
So
I think
I'd say Lawler.
that's fair.
Women's side. Go ahead.
On women's side, I'm gonna go Riley Chamberlain. I can't quit her.
Really?
It's yeah, it's similar to my Sienna Chisholm. Like, I just think there's so much talent there with Riley Chamberlain, and she's been wildly inconsistent at national championships, whether it's on the track and cross country. Like, I think there's a world where she's a top 15 runner, but I also don't feel good about that at all. I think there's a chance she's not an All-American. Like, I but I'm fully bought in on her skill set. I think she can do pretty much everything well. It's just, yeah, there's some volatility there.
Wow. Don't love my options, honestly. Just don't. I will say probably Sophia Kennedy, Stanford.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Just so good, so consistent. You know, even her off days are still pretty good. Third at NCAA's in the 5K. I just everything about her this past year has been, I think, it's been overshadowed by a lot of what the most elite women have done. But Kennedy has been just awesome
Yep.
every single time. She gets better and better and better and better. And if that continues this fall, then I mean, she could be a top 5 runner. She could.
Yeah. No, absolutely. All right. We're going to wrap it there. Women's 5K is happening in like 15 minutes, so we're not going to get that. But man, what a day.
Lutkenhaus, man. 142.
Whoa. He didn't sneak in.
No, he didn't sneak in. That's so insane to me that like we're just seeing 142s. Over under 2.5 years, we see the world record in the 800 go down, which is David Rudisha.
Is it 141.0? Is that it?
140.9.
140.9. Oh, man, gosh, he was so good. Yeah.
Crazy good.
The best. I think over. It's just that I mean, running under 141 is ridiculous. Like, and we really haven't seen like the times shift all that much in the 800 since that point, and I think we're still years away from that.
I think it'll be 3 years because I think 2 years doesn't put you on an Olympic cycle. 3 years,
right?
If 3.5 years, if it's under, you're still on track for that Olympic cycle. And I think people will try to peak for the Olympic cycle, try to be ready. I think in 3 years' time, we will see
a 140. Man, that would be crazy.
So
unbelievable.
All right, Ben, that is all I've got. For all those listening, go check out the site. Our rankings are on there for top 50 D1. D2, D3 are being released as well. Those are already looking great through the just missed honorable mentions. And then, of course, in August, less than a week away from team rankings, which I'm realizing is fast. I got to finalize that probably tonight. But that's it. That's all I got, Ben.
All righty. Well, until next week, Garrett, I'll talk to you.
I'll talk to you.